You're listening to an African Elements top news story for June 12th, 2025. Please visit our website at africanelements.org for more daily news. Black teachers allege racial hostility in Beverly Hills by Darius Spearman, African Elements. Two black educators, Natanda Bella Ivory and Jarvis Turner, have bravely stepped forward. They filed a lawsuit against the Beverly Hills Unified School District. Their court filing also names 10 unnamed district employees. This legal action, initiated on April 25, 2025 in Los Angeles Superior Court, brings serious allegations. It speaks of racial discrimination, ongoing harassment, and sharp retaliation faced over many years. Such allegations highlight a pressing concern. They suggest that systemic issues might exist within educational institutions. The core of the teachers' claims rests on a troubling accusation. They assert that district officials consistently failed to address multiple racist incidents. These alleged failures created a racially hostile environment. This negative atmosphere affected both black teachers and black students. The lawsuit even suggests that the district and its staff collaborated. They reportedly worked together in discriminating against and retaliating against these dedicated educators. This situation underlines the critical importance of creating equitable school environments for all. The detailed allegations from Ms. Ivory and Mr. Turner are deeply distressing. They paint a picture of a school environment where racial slurs and threats became commonplace. Mr. Jarvis Turner endured a particularly disturbing incident in 2019. He received an email to his school account containing the N-word. When he complained, his supervisor's response was described as nonchalant. This dismissive attitude can be devastating. It suggests a lack of urgency or recognition of the severity of such an offense. Mr. Turner also reported receiving phone calls from students using racial epithets. These were not isolated incidents. He also faced in-person verbal mistreatment. Derogatory racial stereotypes were also used by parents. Ms. Natanda Ivory faced a terrifying encounter in February 2025. A student announced in class her hatred for Ivory and expressed a desire to stab her. Astonishingly, no action was taken following this explicit threat. These accounts highlight how black educators often carry a heavy burden. They battle not merely academic challenges, but also outright threats and harassment which can chip away at one's sense of safety and belonging. The teacher's lawsuit extends beyond individual acts of malice. It targets systemic issues within the district. They allege they were underpaid compared to their peers. Such pay discrepancies, when combined with discriminatory practices, can feel like a direct attack on one's worth. More importantly, the district and its staff allegedly failed to take corrective action. This failure allowed harassment to persist instead of stopping it in its tracks. A particularly telling incident occurred in 2018. A group Snapchat post referred to black students as monkeys. The disciplinary action for this severe offense was minimal. The student received only a one-day suspension. The district's response to such serious incidents is described as ineffectual. They offered promises of promoting healing within the school community, but little substantive action actually followed. This pattern highlights a failure in addressing systemic issues. It allows entrenched norms to inadvertently or even intentionally harm certain groups. One of the most striking allegations involves Ms. Natanda Ivory being told she needed to be quiet, meek, passive, and compliant with white counterparts. This type of directive is not merely advice. It is a problematic instruction that reflects deep-seated power dynamics. For black individuals, such words can feel like an oppressive demand to conform. They stifle individuality and cultural expression. This suggests that the institution rewards compliance with dominant group expectations. Such pressure to suppress one's identity in an educational setting is often a form of microaggression. Microaggressions, though subtle, can have a profound impact. They can reinforce institutional racism. Institutional bias operates through procedures and practices that favor certain groups, like white individuals, while disadvantaging others. This type of ingrained bias also makes it extremely difficult to implement inclusive reforms. It perpetuates systemic racism and can lead to a hostile environment for black educators. The lawsuit powerfully emphasizes that the discrimination was not limited to teachers. Black students attending Beverly Hills High School were also subjected to racial slurs. They were reportedly called monkeys. The lawsuit also notes that these students faced threats of violence. Such incidents deeply affect the mental and emotional well-being of young people. They disrupt their ability to learn and thrive in an academic setting. The alleged targeting of black students underscores a broader issue. When schools fail to protect their most vulnerable populations, the entire educational community suffers. The repeated incidents, including the Snapchat posts that referred to black students with racial slurs, are deeply concerning. These actions point to an entrenched problem. It forces us to demand more proactive and effective responses from institutional leadership. Educational institutions are expected to ensure equitable treatment for all, which involves vigorously addressing and correcting such harmful behaviors. The lawsuit also mentions the failure to provide reasonable accommodations. This concept is typically defined under federal law, specifically the Americans with Disabilities Act, ADA, though its principles can extend to ensure equal opportunity more broadly. While some legal definitions of reasonable accommodation mainly apply to disabilities, institutions also have a responsibility to ensure equitable treatment for all individuals. This would encompass situations involving protected statuses like race. The allegations of retaliation also fall under specific legal frameworks. Workplace retaliation is a serious legal concern. It refers to adverse actions taken against an employee. These negative actions can include things like demotion or unreasonable work assignments. Such actions are illegal when carried out because an employee engaged in protected activity, such as filing a complaint about discrimination. The filing of this lawsuit signals a significant challenge. It forces the Beverly Hills Unified School District to confront its purported failures in protecting its black teachers and students. The outcome of this legal proceeding will be closely watched. It could set a precedent for how school districts address deep-seated issues of racial discrimination and institutional accountability. Copyright African Elements.